The plea under alien skies. The city of Novaterra shined with 1,000 lights beneath the vast blue alien sky. There was a constant hum of voices and machines. Aliens of every kind moved between stalls and vendors, but among them, a single figure stood out. Her name was Lyra, and she was not just any alien, she was a woman who looked lost and afraid, her big silver eyes wide with worry. Lyra's skin shimmered faintly under the neon lights. Her clothes were torn, and she carried nothing but a small, hidden pouch close to her chest. She tried to speak to the people around her, but everyone turned away. Some even laughed. Others stared at her with cold eyes. She felt invisible, an unwanted dot. As the night grew darker, the crowds began to thin. Lyra watched the humans closely. Most of them ignored her just like the others. She could feel hunger in her stomach and fear in her heart. If she stayed outside any longer, something terrible might happen. Suddenly, Lyra saw a man step out of a bright shop. He was tall, with brown hair and kind blue eyes. He was not rich or famous, just another visitor in this strange city. But he had a gentle face, and something inside Lyra told her she could trust him. His name was Alex. He was carrying a bag of supplies and looking for his way back to his small ship. He almost didn't notice Lyra at first. But then she stepped forward, blocking his path. "Excuse me, sir," she said in a trembling voice. Alex stopped and blinked, surprised to be spoken to by a stranger, an alien stranger, no less. He saw the fear in her eyes and the way she clutched her pouch as if her life depended on it. "Can I help you?" Alex asked, careful but polite. Lyra looked around. The few people who remained were watching. Some were whispering and pointing. She took a deep breath, fell to her knees, and bowed her head to Alex. Her silvery hair fell over her face, and her voice came out louder than she expected. "Please, will you marry me?" She begged. The words echoed through the market. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Alex stared at her, completely stunned. The crowd around them froze too. Someone dropped a glass. Others gasped or laughed. No one could believe what they were hearing. Alex stepped back, his heart racing. "What? Why would you ask me that? You don't even know me." But Lyra only looked up with tears in her shining eyes. "I have no choice," she whispered. "They will find me. I have nowhere else to go. Only a human marriage can protect me. Please, I am begging you." People gathered closer, hungry for drama. Alex felt their eyes on him. He wanted to walk away, but something about Lyra's voice made him pause. She was desperate, not pretending. Her hands shook as she pressed them together in front of her. "Who's after you?" Alex asked softly, kneeling down to her level. "What's going on?" Before Lyra could answer, a harsh shout echoed across the street. 3 figures in black armor pushed through the crowd, their faces hidden behind glowing masks. They carried strange weapons and moved like hunters. Lyra shrank back, terrified. Alex saw fear flood Lyra's face. "Is it them?" he asked. Lyra nodded quickly. "They want what I have. If I am married to a human, your laws will keep me safe. Please just say yes." Alex looked around. The armored figures were getting closer, searching the crowd. He didn't know the full story, but he saw real fear in Lyra's eyes, of fear that no one could fake. I don't know you," Alex whispered, "but I can help you hide, at least." He reached out his hand. Lyra took it without hesitation, pulling herself to her feet. Alex led her quickly through a narrow alley, away from the bright lights and the stares of the crowd. As they ran, Lyra's breath came in short, panicked bursts. "Thank you," she whispered, clutching his hand tight. "If they catch me, it's over." "Just keep moving," Alex said, pulling her along. He didn't know what he was getting into, but he couldn't leave her behind. Not when she was so scared. Not when everyone else turned away. Behind them, the armored hunters shouted and began to chase after the pair. Alex and Lyra ran deeper into the maze of the city, disappearing under the strange alien sky. In that moment, everything changed for both of them. Alex and Lyra ran through twisting, narrow alleys where the shadows seemed alive. The noise of the busy market faded behind them, replaced by the quiet drip of water and the distant hum of alien machines. Alex glanced over his shoulder, making sure no one followed. Lyra stayed close, gripping his arm tightly, her breaths shaky and quick. They finally stopped in a forgotten corner of the city, under the flickering light of an old neon sign. The ground was littered with metal scraps and empty crates. No one came here except people who wanted to disappear. Alex leaned against a wall, catching his breath. "You need to tell me the truth," he said, his voice low but steady. "Who are those people? Why do they want you?" Lyra hesitated. She looked around, her big silver eyes searching the shadows. Then she reached into her pouch and pulled out a small, smooth device that glowed softly in her hand. It was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The light inside the device pulsed, almost like a heartbeat. She held it out to him. "This is why," she whispered. "This is the reason they chase me." Alex stared at the device. "What is it?" Lyra shook her head, worry written all over her face. "It is called a life seed. My people believe it can heal worlds, or destroy them. Only a special few can carry it. If the wrong hands get it, they will use it for war." Alex's mind spun. He was just a traveler, not a hero. But now he was hiding with someone who carried a secret that could decide the fate of entire planets. "Why do you have it?" Alex asked. Lyra's shoulders slumped. "My family protected it for many generations. But when the war started, my own people betrayed me. They thought I was too weak. They wanted the life seed for themselves, to control others. I ran away before they could take it." For a moment, Alex saw a flash of sadness in her eyes, pain from being cast out, from losing everyone she cared about. He understood loneliness, but nothing like this. "So you came here," Alex said gently, "to hide among humans?" Lyra nodded. "Human laws are strong. In our ancient treaty, any alien woman married to a human is protected by human law. They cannot harm me if I am your wife." Alex looked at the life seed, then at Lyra. She was still shaking. He could feel her fear and her hope. She wasn't lying. This was all real. "But marriage is not a simple thing," Alex said, unsure. "It's not a game. It means something to us." Lyra nodded again, her face serious. "I know, but I have no other hope. Please, I promise, after I am safe, you can walk away. I will not bother you. I just want to live." Alex was quiet for a long moment. He thought about going back to his ship, pretending none of this happened. But then he remembered the look in Lyra's eyes when she begged for his help. He couldn't just leave her to be hunted. He took a deep breath. "Okay, I will help you. But first we need to make sure those hunters don't find us." Lyra's eyes shined with relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Alex. Truly thank you." Suddenly, loud voices echoed down the alley. The hunters were close. Their armor made sharp clanking sounds as they searched each hiding place. One of them barked an order in a strange growling language. Alex and Lyra ducked behind a pile of crates. Alex pressed a finger to his lips, signaling Lyra to stay silent. She clutched the life seed tightly, as if it could protect her. Footsteps grew louder. The blue glow of a scanner swept across the alley, searching for any sign of life. Alex held his breath, his heart pounding in his chest. Then, as quickly as the light came, it vanished. The hunters moved on, fooled by the shadows and the silence. Alex let out a slow breath. Lyra did too, but she was still tense. "We can't stay here," Alex whispered. "We need a safe place." "My people are everywhere," Lyra said. "But there is an old outpost on the edge of the city. It's abandoned. We can hide there," Alex nodded. "Let's go. And don't let go of my hand." Together, they slipped through the dark alleys, away from danger and toward the edge of the city. The stars overhead seemed to watch them, silent and distant. Every sound made Alex jump. Every shadow made Lyra shiver. They finally reached the outpost, a broken dome half buried in sand and metal. It was quiet and cold, but for now, it was safe. Alex sat down beside Lyra. Tomorrow, we'll find a way to make your marriage official. But tonight, you can rest. I'll keep watch. Lyra curled up on a blanket, holding the life seed close. For the first time in weeks, she closed her eyes without fear. Alex sat awake beside her, still wondering how his ordinary life had changed so suddenly. He looked at the alien woman beside him and promised himself he would protect her, no matter what. Outside, the city buzzed with secrets, but inside the outpost, a strange new trust began to grow between a human and an alien, united by danger and a secret worth dying for. Morning light crept through the broken dome of the old outpost. The city was waking up, but inside, Alex and Lyra were still alert. Lyra had barely slept, holding the life seed close, as if letting go would bring disaster. Alex, sitting by the shattered window, kept a watchful eye on the street. The peace of dawn did not last long. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by the distant whine of hoverbikes. Alex peered outside and saw 3 armored hunters speeding toward the edge of the city. Their black suits glistened in the sun, and each one carried a weapon strapped across their chest. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Lyra, they've found us, he whispered urgently. Lyra jolted awake, her heart thudding in her chest. Are you sure? Look, Alex said, nodding toward the window. Lyra saw them too. Her hands tightened around the life seed. They will not stop until they have this, she said quietly. They will tear this city apart if they must. Alex grabbed his bag and helped Lyra to her feet. We can't run forever. We need a way out, a real way out. You said only a public marriage can protect you, right? Lyra nodded, fear mixing with hope. It must be public, witnessed, and recorded in the city archives. Only then will the treaty keep me safe, Alex thought fast. There's a civic hall in the city center. Maybe we can reach it before they do. But before they could make a plan, the outpost door banged open. Dust filled the air as the hunters stormed inside, their red eyes scanning the room. Alex pulled Lyra behind a stack of metal barrels. A deep, distorted voice echoed in the space. Give us the girl, human. Walk away, and we will let you live. Alex stood up slowly, placing himself between Lyra and the hunters. Why do you want her? He demanded, trying to sound braver than he felt. The leader's mask flickered. She carries something stolen. That device belongs to us. Lyra stepped forward, voice trembling but clear. You betrayed our own people. You want the life seed to make war, not peace. The second hunter aimed a weapon at her. We want power. Nothing else matters. Alex saw the desperation in Lyra's eyes. He reached for her hand. You'll have to go through me first, he said. The hunters advanced, their weapons ready. Alex and Lyra backed away, pressed against the wall. There was nowhere to run. Suddenly, a new sound rang out, the sharp whistle of the city's security bots. Blue and white lights flashed outside as the bots arrived, drawn by the commotion. Their loudspeakers blared, all hostile activity will be reported. Surrender now. The hunters hesitated, glancing at each other. They did not want attention from the human authorities. Their leader hissed in frustration. This isn't over, he growled. We will find you again. The hunters retreated, disappearing into the shadows just as fast as they'd appeared. Alex let out a shaky breath. Lyra collapsed against the wall, shaking. That was too close, Alex said. He helped Lyra to her feet. We need to move now. They hurried through hidden alleyways, away from the outpost. Alex scanned the streets for any sign of the hunters or security bots. Every human face looked suspicious. Every alien might be a spy. Finally, they reached the edge of the main plaza. The Grand Civic Hall stood tall and shining, with crowds bustling. In and out, this was the safest place and the most dangerous. Here, everyone could see them. Lyra hesitated, pulling back. What if they attack here? Alex squeezed her hand. They won't. There are too many cameras, too many witnesses. We have to be brave. They walked together toward the hall, trying to blend in. Inside, people from every planet waited in lines, filling out forms or arguing with clerks. Alex spotted a marriage desk and led Lyra toward it. An old robot with a screen for a face looked up. Name and species, please. Alex cleared his throat. Alex Morgan, human. Lyra, she said softly, Drellian. The robot's eyes blinked. Mixed species marriage is allowed with proper documentation. Please scan your identifications. Alex handed over his ID. Lyra hesitated, but finally gave hers. The robot scanned both, then spoke in a flat voice. Proceed to the next booth for marriage recording. Alex and Lyra exchanged nervous glances. They stepped into the next booth, a glass box in the center of the hall. Everyone could see them. The robot inside smiled a polite, automatic gesture. Do you both consent to marriage? The robot asked. Lyra looked at Alex, fear and hope battling in her eyes. Alex nodded, taking her hand. Yes, they both said, their voices echoing in the hall. Just as the robot began the ceremony, the doors slammed open. The hunters stormed in, pushing past security, shouting, "Stop them!" The crowd gasped and scattered. Security bots blocked the hunters, alarms blaring. In the chaos, the robot hurried the ceremony. You are now married by human and alien law. Congratulations. Lyra clung to Alex, her face pale. Outside the glass, the hunters fought with security, but the law was on Lyra's side now. For the first time, she was safe, at least for a moment. The chaos inside the Grand Civic Hall was like a living storm. Sirens wailed as the city's security bots formed a barrier between the furious hunters and the small glass booth where Alex and Lyra stood. Crowds scattered, ducking for cover. News drones buzzed overhead, recording every second. Even in the panic, the glowing screen of the marriage robot stayed steady, its synthetic smile never changing. Alex could feel Lyra's hand trembling in his. He squeezed it gently, giving her silent courage. Outside the booth, the hunters fought to push through the security bots, but human law was strict here. No violence would be allowed in the Civic Hall, not even from desperate bounty hunters. Still, Alex saw the rage in the hunters' eyes. He realized the ceremony needed to finish fast, or they might lose their only chance. The marriage robot's voice rose above the noise. Marriage confirmation required. State your vows, or touch the ceremonial orb to confirm. Lyra's voice shook, but she spoke. By the ancient treaty, I accept this union and seek protection under human law. Alex didn't have fancy words. He looked at Lyra, meeting her silver eyes. I promise to protect you, and I won't let anyone hurt you. They both placed their hands on the glowing orb in the center of the booth. The orb flashed with blue light, scanning their fingerprints and recording their voices. A soft chime sounded as the marriage certificate was instantly sent to the city archives, visible on every public screen for a few brief moments. A legal message echoed. The union of Alex Morgan and Lyra of Relia is now recognized. Treaty. Protection is granted. Outside, the lid hunter pounded on the glass with a metal fist, snarling, This changes nothing, human. You only delay the inevitable. But the law was the law. The security bots locked arms, forcing the hunters back. For now, Lyra was truly untouchable. Alex saw relief on her face for the first time since they'd met. Yet safety brought new problems. The crowd, still stunned from the attack, began to whisper and stare. Some people cheered, others shook their heads in disbelief. News drones zoomed in for interviews, their tiny speakers blaring. Is this the first human-alien marriage in a decade? Why did you do it, sir? What are you hiding from? Alex shielded Lyra from the cameras, guiding her toward the side door. The city clerk, a tiny, nervous alien with bright green skin, rushed up holding a paper copy of the marriage certificate. "You did it," he whispered. "But you have to leave now. Those bounty hunters are famous for breaking rules." "They might. Try again when the security bots are gone." Alex nodded, taking the paper. "Thank you." The clerk led them through a secret staff hallway, past shelves of old records and cleaning supplies. They emerged in a back alley, hidden from the main square. Alex looked around, making sure no one was watching. Lyra's shoulders finally relaxed a little. She smiled at Alex, her eyes shining with relief and something else, maybe hope. "I never thought anyone would do this for me," she said quietly. Alex shrugged, trying to act casual, but his heart was pounding. "I couldn't just let them take you. Besides, you're pretty good company for an alien." They both laughed, a soft, nervous sound in the shadows, but safety didn't last. As they made their way through the side streets, Alex spotted a shadow moving on a nearby rooftop, a hunter, watching them. Lyra saw it too, her hand tightening around the life seed hidden in her pouch. "We can't go back to the outpost," Alex said. "They'll be waiting." Lyra nodded. "There's an old safe house, used long ago by treaty officials. No one remembers it now. If we can reach it, we can rest and plan our next move." They hurried through the maze of alleys, dodging patrols and using every shortcut Lyra remembered from her old life. Once, they passed a group of children playing ball. One of them looked at Lyra and grinned, as if seeing an alien bride was the best story ever. Finally, they reached the safe house, a small ancient building with heavy doors and thick walls. Alex checked the lock, but Lyra pressed her hand against a hidden panel, revealing a secret entrance. Inside, it was dark and quiet. Old treaty symbols glowed on the walls, and the air smelled of dust and safety. Lyra collapsed onto an old couch, exhausted. Alex sat beside her, handing over a bottle of water. "We did it. You're safe, at least for tonight." Lyra drank slowly, then looked at Alex with new respect. "You risked everything for me. Why?" Alex shrugged again. "Maybe I'm just a fool. Or maybe everyone deserves a chance." Outside, the hunters regrouped, planning their next move. But for now, Alex and Lyra were together, married by law, surrounded by shadows, but safe for the first time since their paths crossed. And in the quiet dark, as they rested side by side, something new began to grow, a feeling neither of them could name just yet. The safe house was silent except for the distant hum of city lights outside its thick stone walls. Old treaty symbols flickered on the walls, their blue glow giving the room a calm, almost magical feeling. Lyra sat with her knees pulled to her chest, watching Alex pace across the floor. She was safe. Now, at least that's what the law said. The city's records showed Alex and Lyra as husband and wife, and the treaty promised that no alien, no matter how powerful, could harm her while she remained under human protection. But Lyra knew better than to trust rules alone. She had seen treaties broken and promises forgotten before. Alex was thinking too. He stared at the paper marriage certificate on the table, reading the words over and over, protected by Article 19 of the Human Interstellar Treaty. Spousal immunity applies. He sat beside Lyra. "You know, when I woke up this morning, I thought the hardest thing I'd do today was fix my ship's navigation system. Now I'm married and hiding from alien hunters." Lyra smiled, just a little. Life changes quickly sometimes. A sudden knock on the door made them both freeze. Alex motioned for silence, moving to the peephole. Outside stood two city officials in black uniforms, holding data pads. "It's city officials," Alex whispered. "No weapons." "Should I open the door?" Lyra nodded. "We must act like a real couple. The treaty is only strong if everyone believes the marriage is real." Alex opened the door. The officials stepped inside, their faces unreadable. We're here for a routine check. Mixed-species marriages require follow-up to confirm the union is genuine. Alex glanced at Lyra, remembering her words. He forced a smile and put his arm around her shoulders. Of course. We're happy to cooperate. The officials scanned the room, making notes on their pads. How did you meet? One asked. Alex improvised. We met at the city market. I was buying supplies and, well, she saved me from being overcharged by a vendor. Lyra nodded, playing along. Alex is very kind. He offered me a place to stay when I had nowhere to go. The official asked a few more questions. Where would they live? Did they have any shared possessions? Did they plan a future together? Each time, Alex and Lyra answered as a team, making their story sound believable. At last, the official seemed satisfied. We will register this interview. If you are found to be lying, protection ends immediately. With a warning glance, the officials left, sealing the door behind them. Alex let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. That was close. Lyra relaxed, but only a little. We must be careful. There will be more checks. Just then, the Wallcom buzzed with a new message. Alex tapped the screen, and a familiar face appeared, one of the city's human commanders. Alex Morgan, you are being watched. The bounty hunters tried to bribe us to take Lyra away. But treaty law is clear. Stay inside and keep the marriage certificate close. Any sign of trouble, call for help. Alex nodded. Thank you, Commander. The message faded. Lyra looked worried. They won't stop. They want the life seed at any cost. Alex turned to her. Why is it so important? Can you really trust the law to keep you safe? Lyra pulled out the life seed, its gentle glow lighting her face. This device is hope for my people. It can heal dying lands, grow food, even cure disease. But in the wrong hands, it can poison or destroy. Some believe it's a weapon. Alex listened carefully. And you trust me with this? Lyra met his eyes. You are the only one who saw me as a person, not a tool. That's why I begged you for help. A gentle silence filled the room. Alex reached out and covered Lyra's hand with his own. We'll protect it together. And I won't let anything happen to you. Suddenly, loud shouts echoed outside. Alex rushed to the window. The bounty hunters had returned, this time arguing with city security in the street below. Neighbors peered from windows. A crowd began to form. Lyra's fear returned. If the crowd turns against us, the law might not matter. Alex nodded. Then we need allies. He stepped outside, holding the marriage certificate high. By the law of the treaty, this woman is under my protection, he shouted. Anyone who tries to take her breaks the law of Novaterra. The neighbors whispered, but seeing Alex's courage and Lyra's fear, some of them nodded in support. A shopkeeper shouted back, let them be, we follow the law here. The security chief arrived, blocking the bounty hunters. Step back, or face arrest. She ordered. The bounty hunters snarled, but with so many eyes watching and the law on Alex and Lyra's side, they had no choice but to retreat. Alex went back inside. Lyra hugged him tightly, her first real smile since they met. Thank you, Alex. He smiled back, realizing something. This fake marriage was starting to feel very real. But as night fell, they both knew the danger was not over, and trust would be their only shield against what was coming next. As night covered Novaterra, the safe house felt like a lonely island in a stormy sea. Alex and Lyra sat close together, the soft blue glow of the life seed casting gentle light on their faces. Outside, the city was restless. Sirens howled in the distance, and the voices of patrols echoed through empty streets. Inside, a strange quiet grew between the human and the alien woman. Lyra finally broke the silence. When I was a child, my father told me that the life seed could create miracles, she said softly. But he also warned me miracles can be twisted into curses if greedy hands take them. Alex listened, trying to understand the heavy burden Lyra carried. You never chose this life, did you? Lyra shook her head, eyes shining with sadness. I only wanted a normal life. To study the stars, to have friends. But because of this, she held up the life seed. I became a target. Alex watched her for a moment, seeing her not as a fugitive, but as a person who just wanted peace. You know, back on Earth, I was always alone. My friends called me a dreamer, someone who believed every life had value. Maybe that's why I couldn't turn away from you. Lyra smiled, a real one this time, small but bright. Maybe we both are dreamers. A sharp knock shattered their moment. Alex grabbed the small tool and crept to the door. Who is it? He called. A shaky voice replied. It's me, Tivik, from the market. I heard what happened. Please let me in. Lyra motioned for Alex to open the door. Tivik was a nervous-looking alien merchant with green skin and too many eyes. He rushed inside, glancing around in fear. They are searching everywhere, Tivik whispered. The bounty hunters paid spies to watch the safe house. But some of us, we remember the old ways. The treaty matters. I came to warn you, they plan to attack tonight. They have a device to break through even city security. Alex's jaw tightened. Is there anywhere safer? Tivik shook his head. Not for you, not now. But if you trust me, I can call the old defenders aliens and humans who still honor the treaty. It's risky, but you need more than law, you need friends. Lyra looked at Alex, fear and hope flickering in her eyes. We must trust someone. Alex nodded. We trust you, Tivik. Please call them. Tivik tapped on his comms device, sending coded messages to trusted contacts. Then he slipped away into the night, leaving Alex and Lyra alone once more. Lyra sighed, exhaustion catching up to her. Maybe this is all too much for you, she said. You could leave. You're not trapped like I am. Alex shook his head firmly. You're my wife now. Law or not, I promise to protect you. I don't break my word. A warm silence followed, broken only by the life seed's faint hum. Lyra reached out and touched Alex's hand. Thank you. They sat together as the hours crept by. The safe house was quiet, but outside, the city grew tense. Shadows moved on the rooftops, and figures lingered in the dark. Near midnight, the attack began. First came the power cut. A sudden darkness fell over the building, and the treaty symbols flickered out. Then, heavy boots thundered on the stairs. Alex sprang up, pulling Lyra behind a heavy table. The door exploded inward, and 3 bounty hunters stormed in, their weapons ready. The leader's voice was cold as steel. Enough games. Give us the life seed, or we take her by force. Alex stepped forward, arms wide to protect Lyra. She's my wife. You break human law if you touch her. The hunters sneered. Law is just words when no one is watching. But then blinding lights burst through the windows. Tivik and his group of treaty defenders, both aliens and humans, stormed into the safe house. They wore badges of the old alliance, and their weapons crackled with energy. The leader of the defenders shouted, You break the treaty, you answer to all of us. A fierce battle broke out. Stun blasts flew, furniture smashed, and the air filled with smoke. Alex fought beside the defenders, using every trick he knew. Lyra protected the life seed, holding it tight and whispering an old blessing. Finally, the hunters were beaten back, dragged away by the defenders. The safe house was battered, but Alex and Lyra were unharmed. Breathing hard, Alex looked at Lyra. We did it. We're still together. Lyra nodded, tears in her eyes. Not just because of law, because we trust each other. As dawn broke, the defenders promised to stand watch. Alex and Lyra, side by side, faced the sunrise, not just as fugitives or a fake couple, but as partners, bound by trust, truth, and something new growing between them. But somewhere in the city, another shadow watched them, a sign that their journey was not over yet. The first rays of sunrise touched the battered walls of the safe house, painting everything gold. The city outside was calm for the first time in days, but inside, Alex and Lyra were wide awake. They had survived the night together, with the help of old treaty defenders and a fragile new trust. But as they packed their things, both knew this peace would not last long. The life seed's power still drew greedy eyes, and enemies could be anywhere. Tivik, the merchant who had warned them, arrived with fresh food and nervous news. "The hunters who escaped are spreading rumors," he said. "Some say you carry a weapon that can destroy planets. Others say you have a treasure that could make a fortune. Many will come looking for you, unless you do something bold." Alex listened carefully. He understood that running would never end the danger. "We have to change the story," he said quietly. "We need to show the world what the life seed really is and what Lyra truly stands for." Lyra nodded, her eyes determined. "No more hiding. If the people see the truth, maybe they will protect us instead of chasing us." Tivik agreed to help. He sent messages to leaders from different species, inviting them to the old city square for a demonstration. The treaty defenders would guard the area while Alex and Lyra prepared their plan. As midday approached, the square filled with humans, aliens, and city officials. News drones hovered overhead, ready to broadcast everything. The tension in the air was heavy. Some people looked angry, some hopeful, and many just curious. Alex stood before the crowd, holding up the life seed. "This device is not a weapon," he said, his voice loud and clear. "It's a gift, a chance to heal and bring peace." Lyra risked everything to keep it safe from those who would use it for war. Lyra stepped forward, facing the crowd without fear. "My people turned against me because I refused to let the life seed be used for destruction. I came here hoping for safety, but I found something even greater, a new family, and a reason to believe in peace again." The crowd murmured. Some doubted, but others remembered the old stories of the treaty, of humans and aliens working together for the good of all. One city official, a respected elder, stepped onto the stage. "Prove it," he challenged gently. "Show us what the life seed can do." Lyra nodded and walked to the center of the square, where a patch of ground had been damaged by years of neglect. She placed the life seed gently in the soil and whispered a quiet blessing in her native language. The device glowed softly. Then, before everyone's eyes, green shoots began to sprout from the earth, spreading into beautiful flowers and fresh grass. The crowd gasped. Children rushed forward, laughing and touching the new plants. Even the news drones spun in surprise, capturing every second. The elder nodded, eyes wet with hope. "You speak the truth. This is no weapon, it's hope." As people cheered, the treaty defenders closed ranks around Alex and Lyra. The hunters, watching from the shadows, saw the crowd protect the couple and realized their power was gone. Human law, alien law, and the people's support all stood with Alex and Lyra now. Later, as the square emptied, Alex and Lyra walked side by side. They were no longer just a fake couple bound by law. The danger had forced them together, but courage and trust had made something real. Alex looked at Lyra and smiled. "You know, we never had a wedding dinner." Lyra laughed, her silver eyes shining. "Maybe tonight we can finally have one. As real friends, maybe more." Tivik waved goodbye, promising to visit soon. The old defenders returned to their lives, but their loyalty would remain. The city had changed. People now greeted Lyra on the street. Children followed her, hoping for a glimpse of more miracles. Alex repaired his ship, but he no longer talked about leaving. Lyra helped plant more seeds, not just in the ground, but in the hearts of everyone she met. Together, they built a new life, not just as a human and an alien, or as strangers joined by fate, but as true partners. Their story a legend that would inspire others for generations. And every night, when the stars came out and the city grew quiet, Alex and Lyra sat together under the alien sky, two dreamers who proved that trust, hope, and a little